Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends of Arcadia Genesis Kael solo session. How are you doing, Kael?
I'm doing okay. I was up too late last night, but you know what? Isn't that
Classic. Yeah.
yeah, that's the classic, and it's on both of us. That's a regular
Completely.
recurring feature here.
Yep. I was up too late. Slept in too much. You were up too late. Didn't sleep in though. Clever. Yeah.
My alarm works 100% of the time, 90% of the time.
So, before we hop into the game, anything happened in your life in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Our state went back into lockdown, so we stocked up on a bunch of food and
Yeah.
and other resources so that we wouldn't have to go out for quite some time.
Yeah. Been there.
Yeah, we got all our Christmas stuff set up. I mean, there's not much, but we put up lights and everything, so that's been pretty
That's
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Do you
Aside from
do
that,
in like stuff in your house, like in your apartment?
yeah, just in the apartment. Got like a small tree set up. Got some lighting up in the living room. That's about all I really care to do. That's enough.
It's going to be an interesting Christmas this year.
Yeah,
Lots of
I think.
small family sized or apartment
Yeah,
sized Christmas gatherings. Interesting.
yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen there. I'm probably not gonna go back to visit my parents. I'm probably just gonna stay in. Maybe I'll drop off gifts and leave.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes.
Oh.
But yeah, aside from that, just been, I started playing roguelikes again, still playing RuneQuest as a tabletop game.
Great. Well, that's pretty much the same thing for me. So why don't we hop into game? Where last we left our party, you had made it to Acropolis. With the others, you'd wandered around
Right.
a little bit. Everyone had expressed interest in separate things. And so the party split up for. We've got like the spring. We don't have to take all 3 months of spring, but we've got up to 3 months of whatever you want to do. So Abaddon headed out towards the plains. The others, we don't know where they went yet, but what does Kael want to do with his springtime?
So what was the missive that I got exactly from the college? I can't remember what was the region specifically they wanted me to study. Was it the entire valley or was it the forest?
That is a great question. Where is was it better? I'm gotta check the wiki. Kael, it would be under your name. Kael accepts. Lying on the ground. Nope. Not in the cave.
Let's see here.
Kael is there, tied up on the ground.
Okay, I found the one with the letter, but I don't think there's any transcript of it. Presumably, it's the entire valley, though, which would make sense because the question. Yeah, no, I think it's the entire valley that we're trying to
Okay. Okay. Yep, whole valley. Information on the valley.
Okay. So I probably can't do stuff directly in the forest because that place is a bit of a death trap.
Yeah,
Unless I want to go so our house was left intact, right?
Yes, it was
Unless I
stone.
want to yeah, okay. So I still have all the alcohol in there. We did drink one bottle of it, but that means I still have 9 bottles of moonshine. So I could probably just march into the forest and go get drunk with the orcs. I can speak it now, right?
Ogre?
Yeah.
How can you speak it?
I was being taught it. And it's been a couple of months now, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't give you full proficiency, but a couple of months of trying to learn ogre.
Yeah, especially couple months, simple language, 18 intelligence. I feel like those things all work together pretty well.
Yeah. You could hobble together some level of conversation. To the woods then? by yourself, journey through the forest? To
Yeah,
either
I think so. I
befriend
think
the
because
ogres or get killed
that
by
had been a thing that I wanted to do for a while. Was like go do like a study with the ogres and be like, hey, I'm bringing a gift of alcohol, and I'm pretty fucking cool. I can make good drugs. Let's hang out and have a good time, and then like I can learn things about you from my paper.
Wow. We're doing some deep anthropology here.
Yeah. Anthropology on a more transactional basis, maybe. But
Right.
Sure.
Let me learn about your people while we get fucked up together, guys. Here you go. Oh, you can do it. You can take Manfred with you? You need anything from town?
Is there anything similar to like a smoke bomb?
Probably not here. You'd probably need to find... That would have to be like something you'd special order. You'd need someone to like invent it or... Yeah. I think that's going to be available for purchase.
Okay. I do have Wall of Fogs that'll have to do in the meantime. Yeah, no, I think I will. I'm good on spell provisions because I haven't cast that many, and most of. Oh, I do need to restock on split peas, dried peas, but those are, I assume, basically free. Yeah. So I will restock on peas, which I use for my Wall of Fog because that's the one that I've been using the most. And aside from that, I believe I am good to go.
All right. Are you taking Manfred, or is he a liability in the woods?
I think he's probably prone to panicking if he goes out into the wilderness like that, right? Especially without the extra protection. You know, you can only ask so much of your TA.
Yeah.
You know, some professors aren't conscientious of their needs, but
Are you speaking from experience?
I was never a TA. I did see TAs where like by the end of the semester you could see the light had left their eyes.
It's the soul gone, left to another plane.
Yep.
All
So
right.
I'll leave Manfred behind, but I will probably take the party's donkey, and they can be upset about that if they want.
Excellent. Donkey goes to the first person who claims it, and you have claimed
I'm
the donkey.
gonna load it up with rations and lots of alcohol.
All right. Donkey and booze. All right. You grab the donkey, you grab the booze, you leave Manfred behind, and I guess you head back towards the front. It'll be a couple of days to get back to the woods. You've already picked up your skis. Okay. As you are heading down the valley, I should say, actually, as you're getting back to your house at the end of the valley, you open the door to come inside, grab your stuff, maybe take a little bit of a break here inside. And who should be here but your Lord and Savior, Malchus, God of Chaos. He's helped himself to some of your booze. He's sitting on your table, you know, feet crossed underneath him, you know, feet on the table even as he's sitting there, sipping the booze. And you come in, he's like, "You're right, Kael. You're right. I didn't give you enough credit for it. You said I hadn't done anything to help you and I'd been kind of worthless. And you know, you're 100% right. I've been so busy doing other things, I kind of forgot. I'm here to help you, you know? And I apologize, child of mine, for not being here and not giving you the help that you deserve, but you deserve the assistance that you need. What can I do for you? What can Malchus, the god, do for you?"
Well, for right now, you could give me a small thing, something easy to crack open, and when I crack it open, it would teleport me back to this house.
Oh, I can give you one of those things. But that's that's a pretty powerful, that's a magical item. So even one-use magical item, the other gods get jealous when I hand those things out. You saw what happened when I gave you guys that cool-ass spear. Rossi got all pissy, you know? I gotta find a way to justify giving this to you so that the other gods won't, you know, just start handing out potions of fire breathing to everyone.
Can we write it off as a business expense?
Yeah. I gotta send you on some quest or something. You know, I gotta give something that I can justify that you earned this, so it's not, you know, blatant favoritism, even though it is blatant favoritism. You know, no one else talks down to me like that. No one else stands up to me. You're one of the smart ones, the capable ones, the ones who they aren't caught up in this whole worship bullshit. You know, appreciate it.
I think there's some like careful, like he's got Kael's keeping like a careful face on this, not trying to betray as little emotion as possible on that. Like, this sounds good, but you can't trust reliability from the god of chaos.
True. So look, I got an idea. You're headed into the woods anyway. So what if I put a cave in the woods? I can make a cave. And in the cave, there'll be a monster. And behind the monster will be a single-use teleportation item that brings you... You want to bring you here to Acropolis?
Here to the house.
Yeah. It'll be a stick with runes on it, magic glowing runes, that when broken, brings the holder of it right back here.
Why does there need to be a monster?
Because otherwise, you know, it's just handing it to you in a, you know, a hidden way. There's got to be some level of complexity or depth or a challenge to overcome so that it's a proper reward, so that the other gods aren't all, you're giving people magic items. We told you we wouldn't give them. You know, we have an agreement not to help out people with anything other than like directions or information unless they can prove worthiness. It's a dumb rule. I mean, it's not dumb. Otherwise, all the ogres would all just have flaming spears, and that's just.
Well, all right. If you can give me the general directions to the cave, we can make that happen.
Excuse me, the booze. They're real good. Who made this stuff? Right.
I did. Could you hold off on the rest of that booze? That's part of my mission.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I won't have any more. I promise.
It's all good.
All right. Cool.
We do have wine as well if you'd like that.
Ah, thank you. Refreshing. Wonderful. Okay, so you're gonna follow the river. You know, you'll get to a fork in the river. You want to go just past the fork in the river. I guess it's, you know, the confluence because they're coming together rather than going apart. And it's gonna be just on the other side of the confluence. You'll find a cave down at river level. You'll go in. And then, you know, there'll be something there, some sort of dangerous mystery. Woo! You'll have to face, you know, life and death odds, overcome challenges. And then all the other gods will be like, yes, he deserves the magic item that you've given him. You know? Well, it'll be easy. You've got combat spells, right? I'm not worried about it.
I have a combat shovel, in fact.
Okay. Hear you. Go do your thing. You'll get your thing. And you keep me honest, buddy. And he just sits there, still on the table.
All right, I'm gonna collect up my stuff. I'm gonna ask if he has spare rope.
Yeah, I got rope. It's in your room already.
Oh, perfect. What about stakes?
What type of steaks are we looking for? We're looking for vampire steaks, or are we looking for beef steak?
Ones. Pit steaks.
Oh yeah. It's with the rope.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'll go collect all those things.
Yep. By the time you come back, he's gone. The beverages he was drinking are sitting empty on the table. See the dirty footprints where his feet were on your table. No respect that god, but he's gone.
Well, what can you do? All right. So I'm going to head out to the woods here, and we're going to be collecting some stuff while we travel through the woods.
Oh. It is probably late midday or so. So you can head to the woods, start collecting your things. What things are you collecting?
I am looking. So these are pretty thick woods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of the trees, there's probably other like bushes and foliage on the ground that make it occasionally hard to see the ground itself.
Yes, I would say that the canopy is quite dense, and I would say
Mhm.
the undergrowth is between light and moderate. Moderate in
Right.
most areas, light in some.
So I'm going to look for those moderate sections, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to look to like cut away some of it, right? If there's like bushes, I'm going to try and like uproot some of the bushes and like collect them because I'm going to try to recreate those bushes a little bit later on.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Can do. All right, so you head into the woods. You want to collect it. Is it a specific type of bush or just any
No,
bush?
not anything specific. I'm looking like, yeah, just brush that looks like it fits the area, like something I could make a convincing kind of like landscape out of.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find little, clip this, clip that. You've got some sort of knife on you, some sort of cutting
Yeah.
implement.
Yeah. I was given a dagger by Nyx at one point.
Yeah, you can make a diorama.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to collect those. I'll load that up on the donkey. So it's just got like a bunch of foliage probably stacked on top of its back, loosely tied together with rope.
Sounds nice.
And then we'll keep following the river, looking for that fork that Malchus was talking about.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be, like 15 miles in, so it's going to be a multi-day journey at this point. But that is not a problem.
Yep. And then during the night, we've got excess rope, right? So I'm going to use the brush to like conceal the donkey and have it like tied to a tree, and then I'm going to climb that tree myself, and I'll tie myself to that so that I'm up in the tree and I don't fall off in my sleep.
So you tie the donkey down to the base with all the stuff.
Yeah, just like a
on it.
collar, essentially, like a leash.
Right, and then you go and you tie yourself into the tree.
A good 15 feet above the ground or something.
Okay.
Maybe enough to be a little out of sight.
Oh,
And the whole point of, and then the donkey obviously like covered up with the brush to be a little bit obfuscated itself.
Yeah. Roll my encounter dice. Ah, yes. You sleep peacefully, only to be awoken in the morning by the sound of a large beast down below. Not attacking you. I'm not attacking your donkey, but it's just got these like deep rumbling emanating from it. And as you come to and peer down below the tree, you can see there's a large quadrupedal beast with thick, kind of almost scaly sides, kind of like that lizard skin that's not quite scaly, but kind of looks a little scaly. It has a large frill coming off of the top of its head that would protect its back and shoulders a little bit. And it has 3 large horns, one coming above each eye and one coming off the nose.
Okay. Looking at this thing, would I know a fair amount about various creatures, right? Giving this a glance, can I make an educated guess as to what kind of, like, is it carnivorous, omnivorous, herbivores?
It is an herbivore. You can see it munching on the plants next to your donkey.
Okay, so it's not like threatening, it's just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, it's large enough and it's got enough armor and weapons attached to it that it could kill you if it wanted to. But it's an herbivore, so it's probably fine. But like, it's got 3 giant horns and it's got to weigh a couple of tons, so it could like a 3-horned rhino with an armored frill and more weight.
Sure. I'm going to climb down the tree on the other side and like slowly. So I'm trying not to be seen, but if it does, it's gonna like see me descending slowly and not like trying to pounce on top of it, right?
Yeah, you can scramble down the tree. The creature will look at you. It'll grunt a little bit, but continue just standing there, munching on the bushes.
All right, I'm gonna go look for like a berry bush or something.
Yeah, you can wander through the woods a little bit looking for a berry bush. You find one, I don't know, maybe 50 yards from where you're staying right now.
All right, yeah, I will cut away some section of that berry bush and collect it in like in my arms and bring it back to this site. and set it down a little ways away from where I set up the donkey.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just kind of like whistle over to the beast, try and like catch its attention. And once it like notices the bush with the berries, I'm just gonna kind of walk away from it.
Yeah, it'll see the bush, see the berries, finish tearing up the bush that it's eating by its roots, and then while chewing it, saunter over towards the berry bush, munch on its thing with its large flat teeth, grab the berry bush, and
Yeah, and then with that, like once it's kind of lured a little further away from the tree and the donkey, I'm just gonna start packing everything up and get ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you grab your stuff, and you can head through the woods, leaving the Triceratops behind. So, this is where you spent the night. And if we are looking for... Where are we on the map? Why do we not have vision on the map? What's going on?
Oh yeah, it's. Oh, I do. I have a little bit of vision.
Okay.
I have a tiny bit of vision. I got a little bubble of vision.
I have no vision when I use the map. Weird. What is going on? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Taking the interesting approach of making the GM the least privileged user.
I don't know how it worked. There we go. Okay. So you wanted to follow the river past the confluence. So it looks like we're going here and here for another 10 miles through the underbrush. It's going to take you more than a little while to do it. You got to kind of follow the river and then also cut away from it and move through the heavy brush and climb over this thing, descend that thing. There's a bit of like a waterfall area that you have to go past and around. This is where you saw that water nymph for the first time. And then you head down further from there until you come to the confluence, as expected.
Okay. Along the way, I do want to keep an eye out for any plants that because I've documented a fair number of things already in this place, right? Like when we were hanging out in Nyx's cave and a few other points in the house. If I saw anything that could be used for making some kind of like drug, like hallucinogens, narcotics, whatever. If I have anything that I know made good stuff, I'm gonna collect that. And like I've got a fair amount of tools. I've got like a mortar and pestle. I've got a river next to me. I'm gonna do what I can do to make any kind of a.
Yeah, what sort of
that I can make a
skill
good...
check should I try to justify? What do you got?
Let me take a look at what I have. I have a herbalism. I feel like
you have herbalism.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty fitting.
That is fitting.
1 second, I have to turn off this extension so that I can actually see my sheet. There we go. Herbalism is, I think, -2. Yeah, okay, so d20 plus 16. I'm rolling so bad these past few. Yeah, I think I butcher a plant when I try it. Like I find a good patch of stuff and I completely butcher in the collection process.
Hacking it to bits instead of pulling it nicely.
Yeah, probably gonna have to worry about it after the cave.
Well, you don't get the things that you need here. It's strips. You might be able to collect a little bit of uses, but you definitely won't be able to transplant it or keep it in use anywhere. You've got some coca leaves, but it's not what you were hoping for.
Yep, we'll worry about it later.
Yeah. Well, sure enough, as you look around the confluence, there's a little sandy beach that runs up to, I guess it's a cave. It's not like a nice rounded entrance with a welcome sign and some, a mat to wipe your feet. It's more of like there's a bit of a rockish wall, and there's sort of like a crack in it that you could
Okay,
like
so it's an even more
squeeze yourself
narrow
through.
entrance than a normal
Yeah.
cave. That's
Real
perfect,
narrow.
because I need to lure this thing out. So outside, where it's still forest, I'm gonna pull out that fancy magic shovel that Malchus gave me, and I'm gonna start digging out a pit.
All right. You quickly dig a pit.
All right, I'm gonna set up some stakes at the base of it. I'm gonna climb on out, and I'm gonna use all that brush I collected to conceal it. I'm gonna use my engineering here to try and construct a pitfall trap, essentially, where you step on it. It looks like solid ground. You step on it, and it breaks away underneath you, and you fall into the stakes.
If directly in front of the cave entrance is like the sandy beach of the river.
Oh, right, it's the beach. Okay, yeah. So we'll build it. Where's a good spot? So does it look like any of the sand around here is like solidified into sandstone?
No, it does not yet.
Okay, so it's all just loose sand. There's no
Yes.
more solidified chunks. Darn. Okay, let's Okay, let's just take this a little ways away then. We're gonna go right off the beach. We'll try and lure this thing in a specific direction then. Yeah, right outside the cave would have been too easy. So we'll dig one a little ways away, back into the forest, and create the pitfall trap over there. And I'll try to lure this thing using that.
Okay. You head a little bit away from the river, find yourself a nice place to dig yourself a pit trap. Do it, which only takes a couple of sweeps with your magic shovel, and then cover it with some things, and Bob's your uncle.
All right. I have made the trap, and I'm going to go up to this cave.
Yeah. It's just a crevice in the wall. And squeeze your body through.
Yeah, let me make sure I get everything set up here. Yeah, that's my emergency. That's fine. Yep. Okay. I am going to take a look inside. I assume it gets pretty dark pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we will pull out a torch then.
The walls are jagged, but they're also sort of like smooth. Like they jut out at you, but to the touch, they're mostly smoothed by time, by erosion, something like that. And as you kind of squeeze in, it opens a little bit, but never too much. You can stand, you can hold out your arms, but there's always like some flang of rock jutting out here or another one over there. So your vision's going to be pretty limited, probably no more than 30 feet in front of you at any given point of time.
Right. Be, like, okay. Which may that's about torchlight anyways, so it works out.
The ground here is a little bit sandy, probably cast off of the rock walls that you're walking past. How would you like to approach the cave? Or approach, exploring the cave?
Did I see nearby any like really slick substances, like oil by chance?
No, just long water. Shot. Yeah.
Okay, just water. Okay.
Yeah.
How is the inside of this cave already damp?
It's so dry.
Okay. I'm actually going to go collect a little bit of water then, and I'm going to create a couple of different places where I guess I can just use metamorphose liquids for this, so I can oh no, I have to collect the liquid that I transform anyways. So we're going to just do the laborious process of like getting some water from the beach, collecting in a container, pouring it out inside the cave, trying to make a few puddles that something might slip on. And then I'm going to mark the walls that are like that. I don't have a chisel, so I might actually ruin this perfectly good dagger that Faye gave me.
Yeah, you can sweep the sand away on the ground, revealing the bedrock below, and then you can slowly and painstakingly bring water after water. Do you have a carrying vessel of some kind?
I've definitely got flasks.
Yeah.
And then I now have an empty bottle of moonshine because of Malchus, so...
Yeah, you can spend half an hour bringing water into the cave.
Yeah, and
puddles.
I just make it on a couple of different, because you mentioned it's pretty jagged and like twists and turns a lot. So at a couple of different corners, I'm going to set up a couple of like puddle traps, and I'll like chop into the wall a little bit with the dagger, like hammer into it a bit, which might ruin the point, but that's fine. I don't use this as a weapon. I only use it to cut things. So I'm gonna sort of cut into the wall of this cave so that I have a clear marking when I'm running out of it, right? So I can see it when I'm running out. Like, okay, this is the wall that I need to like be careful around the corner so I don't slip.
Okay. Well, you do so. You mark the walls. You add the water. You can push deeper within.
All right.
Cave keeps going back. You've managed to put some water traps, just like puddles of water, around the first few twists and turns. And you go maybe another 40 or 50 feet in, another 3 or 4 look-sees. when you can see that there is a light deeper within the cave, sort of glinting off of one of these next corners. You've got to go like 20 feet down the path, and then there looks to be like another tight turn that sort of goes a little bit forward and left, and it's behind there where the light is emanating.
Okay.
From which the light is.
Okay, and then the light's emanating into where I can see, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like reflecting off of some walls, so you can't see its
Okay.
source, but you can be drawn in that direction at least.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my torch lit then, because with the light in that room, it's probably not gonna be a dead giveaway. Like, it probably won't create a light source that something would see coming from a ways away, is what I'm gonna bank on. So I'm gonna keep my torch lit so that I can see where I'm going and not trip in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna slowly creep my way forward, trying to stay quiet.
And I think this is a great place to take our first break. We will come back on the other side as Kael explores the depth of the cave. See you guys soon.